you really have two options.
Yeah.
Well, three options. You go,
Yeah.
you send, or you're disobedient.
Yeah. That's
And
good.
so there's very little option.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Now, the second thing, if you're supposed to send and not go, but you go, God's really kind and you'll figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you're supposed to go, whatever, I would just lean towards activity.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're not running out of lost people.
Right.
And we're longing for workers.
There you go. Hello, friends. This is Ron Halp, and with the Edge of the Map podcast here at Go International. I am really thrilled to have my good friend and board member, Go International, Zach Meerkreebs, with us today. We're going to have a conversation about the state of world missions and what God's doing in the earth right now. Welcome, Zach. Glad you're here.
Honored to be here, bro.
Thank you, man. Zach, I want to hear, because over the last number of years, you've been so heavily involved in a variety of mission efforts around the world. And I just want to hear what you feel like God is up to in this day and how you see him moving, some of the places and ways that he's moving these days.
Yeah. Something that has been disheartening is like the younger generations have felt less and less engaged in going.
Yes.
And even the concepts of evangelism, concept of mission has become pretty uncomfortable and itchy.
Mm-hmm.
There's less. I think about when I was growing up, there was documentaries, there was resources, there's so much out there that was pushing us towards the nations.
Yes.
And I think in some really correct ways that we've learned about our broken methods, and probably well-meaning, but broken methods, have decelerated and deflated this kind of zeal for the nations and zeal for evangelism. It feels like, we think about your truth is your truth, my truth is my truth. So the idea of telling you that your truth is actually wrong and you need to know Jesus feels uncomfortable. And because of that, I think there's been a loss of momentum towards the nations. But what I'm sensing in the last couple of years, because I believe God is so not only jealous for his bride, the church, but also Luke 19:10, he says he came to seek and save those who are lost. So he's jealous for the bride, but he's also not going to let the bride sit on their hands and just enjoy worship and prayer gatherings.
Yeah.
And go get out to go seek and save those who are lost. So you're starting to see that among the young.
Awesome.
To start getting more and more excited about sharing their faith with others. We're seeing God woo people into these events where they're seeing people come to Christ.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think there's some pros and cons to mission and evangelism that way.
Yeah.
I think there's a rising longing for justice and mercy and mission.
Yes.
With the buzzword of revival, we have to realize that historically revival then begets justice and mercy and cultural change and to care for the poor and the winning of souls, which we were longing for.
Oh yeah.
And but I am very encouraged by what I'm seeing.
Good.
I spent a lot of time overseas, mostly in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And the zeal of the church in Europe is amazing.
Wow.
And there's this gathering that happens monthly in London that they're now not only having a line out the door for all-night prayer gathering, they're now having like 2, 3, 4 overflow rooms.
Wow.
And people are coming off the street curious and coming to Christ.
Amazing.
Or giving up their things at the altar and they weren't planning to be there,
Yeah. Yeah.
They had like this whole kind of cultish thing, have 20 people kind of infiltrated, which sounds epic, but got into the worship gathering, and one by one, all 20 gave their lives to Christ that night in the presence of God. And that's London, England. So you hear about like the Scandinavian countries are just getting on fire right now. Like they are just like Finland. It's exciting.
Oh, it is.
Australia, I got to be in Australia and to see the church in Australia taking ownership of the evangelization of Australia and, the Ring of Fire, like the Polynesian islands that they're pursuing. And
Yes.
I'm really encouraged. And I do feel like the Lord is charging this younger generation through encounter to then go, like in Isaiah 6, like he's encountering and then it's time to go.
Yes. Yes. That's exciting to hear, and kind of amazing to think that where you sort of the center of Christendom moved to North America, all those years in Europe waned so badly, and yet now they're beginning to see revival again. Tell me about your opinion about the connection between revival, renewal, and world mission.
Yeah, this is something that honestly has been a real have like gravity in my heart. Like really, both of us got to be a part of a unique visitation from God almost 3 years ago at Asbury University. And I remember in the moment, the first night of the Asbury outpouring, we feel led to pray for the nations. And I have a video of all the seats empty because people have pressed up against the walls, extending out of Hughes Auditorium towards the nations. And we did that regularly.
Wow.
We had moments where we did a call to missions. And I remember just going to the back right corner and saying, hey, if you felt called, come talk to me. We had missions teams that came, got prayed for, and that got commissioned back to an international location and saw tremendous fruit. But in all that, I felt like there's one of my greatest grievances of being a part of leading the moment at Asbury that we sadly dropped. I think dropped the ball quite a bit on the commissioning aspect of that. And historically, we see these moves of God move towards mission, starting in the original encounter with God in the flesh. Jesus calls his disciples and says, I'm going to make you fishers of men. That's encounter leading to mission. And then you have Pentecost, encounter leads to mission. And in Acts 11, the Gentiles get invited, encounter leads to mission. And then historically, you see the Moravian prayer meeting that catalyzes really modern day missions.
Yes.
And then you see the Haystack Revival. You see these awakenings that always culture is impacted, crime goes down, orphans are cared for, widows are cared for, the prisoners cared for. I think it's hand in hand. And what I really appreciate about some of this language is I think it's actually, sadly, it actually should not be able to be disconnected.
Yes.
It's like two faces of the same coin. But sadly, has been disconnected. That prayer and justice is the same thing. Encounter and mission is the same thing. And when we separate it, we've missed something on both. And so I think it's hand in hand. And I think with what God's doing in the world today, even just very personally, I feel very convicted that my effort personally and lots of people's efforts are turning to, okay, now that the church is being visited, how do we mobilize?
Yes.
Because I think it's essential.
Yes. And it feels to me like when you talk about dropping the ball, I mean, it does in a way feel as if the elders, my generation is not somehow isn't communicating, isn't embracing and challenging the next generation in a way that they need to be challenged. I mean, I feel some real conviction about that myself, and am looking for ways to continue to, the young people that I'm interacting with and mentoring. I'm trying to figure out how do we really push, activate, help them see that these are not two different things. These are the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's important. I feel like that's,
and you're doing it well. Like even I've been in rooms in the last 6 months and seeing your humility to encounter the Lord yourself. And that's something that this older generation needs to. You need to go be weak alongside people.
Yeah.
And encounter the Lord. But then they need big brothers and fathers. They need big sisters and mothers that one can say, hey, you can do it.
Yes.
Can also say, I'll play defense for you while you try it.
Yes.
And if you fumble, we're good.
Yes. Right.
We'll help.
It's not the end of the world if you encounter a rough patch.
Yeah.
Well, and it's one of the things that we, of course, at Go here really value and that really keep we're being challenged by is if we can help young people see this connection.
Yeah.
And really understand this is a unified, this is our call. I mean, we are sitting at the feet of Jesus. We're worshiping him. We're adoring him, and we are going out. We have to. There's just no choice. And, so I'm encouraged by that. And I know that you're carrying that message and challenging folks everywhere you're going.
Yeah. One of our good friends, Ciro Castro, he said this, and it was like a throwaway little thing in his sermon one time. And I've just clung to it. He said, you need to understand that you are both the object of God's mission and agent of God's mission.
Oh, that's good.
And you have to be both, because if you're just the object, so unbelievable that the Son of Man left the throne and died on the cross for you, and he would have done that just for Ron. You're the object of his mission.
Yes.
But we don't get to just be the object of his love and his power and his rescue. We also are the agent of his mission. But you also can't just be the agent of God's mission, because you'll just dry up and lose sight that you're a beloved child.
Yes.
If you don't enjoy and rest in being an object. So I really appreciate Ciro's words of the object and agent of God's mission.
Great way to think about that, and the challenge that it brings. It's been fun, Zach, and I know you have observed this as well, to see the nations going to the nations, to see what's happening in Brazil, of course, in South Korea for many years, but even in places like Mongolia, where we are beginning to develop a work. I mean, the young people there's only 20,000 Christians in Mongolia, evangelical Christians.
Unreal.
And yet, you've got, a YWAM base, full of young people, Mongolian young people who are praying for their nation and reaching out to it. So, I mean, we've got to figure out ways to come alongside that, to encourage it, to resource it, to continue to see that move grow. And so I'm really thrilled that you're doing what you're doing. I'm excited that you're helping us do it. Good stuff. Tell me a little bit more about what you see happening in a place like Australia. We've heard a lot of things about Australia and just the secular, what's happened there in terms of secularism, and a lot like Europe. But tell us what you're seeing there.
Yeah, Australia is very similar to Europe. When I got to be there, I was moved by the collective ownership of the evangelization of their space.
Great.
And seeing the diversity of ownership. So you have people with lots of money who are putting their money on the table to say, we're going to be radically generous to recover Christianity or rediscover or reestablish or first time ever establish Australia to be a Christian nation.
Awesome.
Well, also you were seeing churches maybe out of dissatisfaction and desperation, finally just kind of throwing their hands up and be like, we got to do this together. But it's beautiful because it's so diverse there.
Mm-hmm.
So the possibility of that is wonderful. It's been really, really encouraging. I'm excited. I'm back there in 2026 to encourage the church and leaders there. But
awesome.
Seeing them just, collective ownership, sacrificial love for one another.
Good. And that another theme that we've just seen again and again, and the Lord, I think, has clearly been drawing his people together, is this notion of working together, unity among the various streams and movements and efforts and so on. There's just no question that multiplies exponentially what we can accomplish. And it's critical, and to speak well of one another, and to I have to confess that as the leader of a mission organization, it was easy for me early on to think about how do I grow this mission? How do I
Yeah.
benefit this mission? And the Lord really confronted me a decade ago and said, I want you to begin thinking about how you benefit all of these ministries
Yeah,
that you're
the
connected to.
mission.
The mission,
Yeah.
not your mission.
And the way we do that is missional, is evangelistic.
Yes.
John 13:35 says that they will know that you're my true disciples, and like that you will be vibrant, compelling disciples. And
Yeah.
Jesus says, by the way you love one another.
Oh man.
Like that's itchy, right?
That
So it's like
is.
I could be the best missions agency or the best evangelist, but maybe the most impactful witness I have is not with my words, but by the way I cheer on someone else. And
Yes. Yes.
and I think one thing I've enjoyed in my time with Go, and we're working on the board, is to get very, very strong and clear and distinct on what our unique
Yes.
role of this is. Because when you aren't clear on that, then you can step on toes, or you can
Yes.
almost act like that insecure, like, is this my role? Is this not?
Yeah.
I have to flex. And that's that 1 Corinthians 12, like, body. It's like, if Go International is the thumb, let's just be the thumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
And oh, praise God, that one's the smile. It's a little bit sparkler and prettier than us, but be the smile, y'all. And that's what we need right now.
Yeah.
We need organizations and the churches to, if you're the pinky, be the pinky and cheer on the pointer finger, whatever it is. And I'm excited for Go because I think we're really figuring that out.
Yeah.
And I think our risk quotient, doing whatever it takes.
Yes.
And then our heart for the indigenous leader.
Yes. Yes.
That a couple leaders around the world doing hard work would know that they have a small army of cheerleaders.
Yes.
In Go International. I think that's what we do well. And
yes. Great.
And praise God for other organizations that do other things way better than us.
That's right. We can't possibly do everything we want to do well, what we've been given, what we've been assigned, and be clear on that. So fantastic, man. Well, what would you say to we encounter quite a few young people who are sensing God calling, they've had some experience with him. Maybe they've done a little bit of mission.
Yeah.
What do you say to that young person? How do you encourage them?
Yeah. The two things, I had coffee with one of our little brothers in the faith today, and I was saying something similar. I said, there's kind of two things I would say to a young person is, one, there's certain things you really don't actually have to ask God a lot about. He's just made it very clear that he's a big fan of that. So when I talk to like a young family, there's like a young married couple, and they're asking, when should we have kids, or should we have kids? It's a very clear scripturally, God's a big fan of healthy families and kids. So they need to be wise and all this stuff. But I'm like, he's a fan of kids. We need healthy families and healthy kids. You don't really have to think deeply about
struggle through
what up. You know what I mean? Or it's like, should I be generous? Should I be hospitable? It's like, I think you should. I honestly think world mission and evangelism should be in that same category. You really have two options. Well, three options. You go, you send, or you're disobedient. That's good. So there's very little option. That's the first thing. Now the second thing, if you're supposed to send and not go, but you go, God's really kind and you'll figure it out. And if you're supposed to go, whatever, I would just lean towards activity. And we're not running out of lost people.
Right.
And we're longing for workers.
There you go.
Honestly, I would encourage, I've seen some of the most vibrant, resilient, captivating disciples that aren't in ministry, aren't in missions, but are businessmen or doctors, have spent a season on mission. Because it puts something in perspective. It activates their faith. They might be like one of my good friends. unbelievably successful businessman,
Mm-hmm.
spent every summer on mission.
Mm.
And now his budget is shaped by it.
Mm-hmm.
His family is shaped by it.
Yes.
He's leading his coworkers to Christ because he remembers leading people to Christ
Yes.
on a mission. Like, it's just not a bad idea.
Right. Right.
So I tell young people, like, yeah, just go for it. And if
Yeah.
you go and it's not the right fit, God's kind and we'll take care of it.
Yes.
We'll walk you through that.
Yes.
You're not a failure.
That's right.
Just, you know.
That's great. I love that. I love that idea. And part of what we do here, we're trying to create the environment for that to happen, for young people to be able to step out, whether it's for a week, 10 days, or for 12 weeks or a year, and lots of groups are doing different things, but really to give them a chance to be in that environment long enough to let God work and let him kind of get uncomfortable enough
and
discern what he's saying. And so, that's good. It's an encouraging word. And I'd say, man, we want to say that to parents and grandparents, help your kids gain that kind of, opportunity, that experience, and, be in a place where you're going to be challenged and you're going to be, come face to face with what God's doing in the earth.
Yeah. And it's part of your formation as a parent.
Yes.
Like, I have a 9-year-old and, my wife and I have wrestled. Do we need to do something different to make it, make her more comfortable, more safe? And I'm not against any educational decisions or
sure
that, but we've had to wrestle with, or is God forming something in us, doing something in us that will influence the way we lead our kids? Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, I think part of our story is we can really struggle with when our kids struggle and have pain because we lost one of our kids.
Right.
Well, I think God is challenging us to not idolize comfort and safety.
Yes.
And if Eden has a hard time in school once in a while, we get to teach her.
Yeah.
How to lead. So
yes.
It's not only for the sake of your kid.
Mm-hmm.
I also think it could be quite discipling, formational for you as a parent.
Yes.
Who makes a sacrificial step of sending your kid.
Yes. Good.
And,
good word, man. Good word.
And we don't have to dumb it down. It's hard.
Right.
I'm a dad of 2 little girls here, and I have a hard time.
Yeah.
I can't imagine sending your kid to one of the stands. I'm not saying pretend it's not hard. Just say God might be forming you just as much as you want him to form your kids.
Without a doubt, man. That's a place where he can do that, man. That relationship is a place where he can work. And so that's good. And, of course my kids are grown now, but I think, every one of them benefited from those kinds of experiences. Maybe a couple of them more than the others, but I see even now 10 years later, 15 years later, I see where, that summer in Zambia, that made
game
a
changer.
difference. Yeah, it made such a difference in my daughter's life. That year in Europe, or that Christmas in Greece, or whatever it was. So, man, certainly want to encourage parents and others to think about that. And a bold plug for Go International. We do that, and we feel like we do it well. We've been doing it a long time. We are able to, we work with such awesome partners that we have long-term friendships with leaders on the ground who really welcome young people into their homes. They become a part of that family and work in the ministry. And we've just seen it again and again that kids come back from that experience changed and saying, Lord, what am I supposed to do with this? Tell me how to work this into my life. So, we love to do that sort of thing. If you have a child or a grandchild who is in that situation, please get in touch with us, because love it. Well, man, this has been great, Zach. It's so good to get to serve alongside you. Thank you for your your work and your commitment, and we just look forward to seeing what God's going to do and how He's going to continue to move. And it's a great day to be doing missions.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Well, friends, it's another episode of Edge of the Map. I'm Ron Halp. God bless you, and tune in next time.
Thanks for joining us on the Edge of the Map. Every episode is just a small window into what God is doing through missional leaders who are taking the gospel into places most of us will never step foot. And at Go International, we're doing whatever it takes to walk with those leaders and help plant the church where it isn't yet. We want to invite you to be a part of that story. You can join a trip and experience the Edge firsthand. You can help send others through your support. Or you can fuel and fund the mission by supporting our programs, projects, and the people that carry the gospel further. Visit gointernational.org to learn more. Until all have heard, we go.